God cannot not be just. And God cannot not be love. This is where the big problem is. This is the problem that necessitated the gospel. The problem is because of who God is. What you are seeing here is a God who is merciful, who is loving, and a God who is also just. And you see, the problem is this. Every time that people insist on justice, they do it at the expense of mercy. And every time that people decide to show mercy, they do it at the expense of justice. When God came to proclaim the name of God, God told us that he is merciful, he is long-suffering, he is gracious, he abounds in mercy, he keeps mercies for thousands, he forgives iniquity, he forgives transgression, he forgives sin, and he says by no means he will clear the guilty. So we are like, how do we make progress here? And the problem is a big one, because we are dealing with a God that is perfect. Young people, are you with me? I need you to understand the context of being unashamed that Paul was talking about, because this is our deliverance. In case you are not aware, every one of us, before the gospel happened, every one of us, we were all ashamed. You see, I was ashamed. It's not just that I'm not ashamed or I'm ashamed. No, I am ashamed. I was ashamed until I met Jesus. Are you with me? And because I am not ashamed of the gospel, I am no more ashamed. Yes, me as a person, before the gospel came, I was ashamed. You see that woman by the well in John chapter 4? That woman ran into the city and became an evangelist. And he said, come and see a man that told me everything that I ever did. Could this not be the Messiah? If anybody should be preaching the gospel, it shouldn't be that woman. The woman herself was ashamed until she had met Jesus. But when she had met Jesus, she was not ashamed of Jesus Christ, because Jesus had taken away her shame. And it is the story of every one of us. So you need to understand where we are coming from to being unashamed. In case you think that you are doing God a favor by trying to carry the gospel on your head. No, it is your very life. It's your very life. So stay with me. Stay with me. So God said, I am a merciful God and I'm a just God. Basically, that's what he has said. And every time I run this, I ask young people, if I give you a choice, and I ask you a question, between mercy and justice, which one do you prefer? Talk to me. Let me hear you. Mercy. That is the answer I get everywhere. Hello? And I can tell you that it is true, but it's not always true. You see, it is true depending on where you are. When you are the recipient, when you are supposed to be the recipient of mercy, you will desire mercy. But when you will become the offended party, you will suddenly realize that justice is not such a bad idea. Say, let us do the right thing for once in this country. Can we not just do the right thing for once in this country? Suddenly you would have forgotten that at years you said you prefer mercy. You suddenly start asking for justice. Say, no, you cannot just be driving and be using your phone and then you run into my car. Now you want me to take responsibility for it. Let's do the right thing for once in this country. But you know, if you were the one who was using your phone and you ran into that person's car, you will now be saying, you know, to err is human. But to forgive, have mercy. Have mercy. You will extol the virtues of mercy. The other person will be extolling the virtues of justice. Now imagine that both of those ideals need to be reconciled in one person. Because that's what you read in those verses. That he's merciful, he's gracious, he's abounding in long suffering, and he keeps mercies for thousands. He forgives sins, transgressions, iniquity, and he will not clear the guilty. You have basically said, they cannot be saying they forgive your sin and your iniquity and your transgression. It means you are guilty. Then the next verse he says, I do not clear the guilty. And let me tell you this. You know this question that we're asking now? There's no religion in the world that has a resolution to this problem. No religion in the world has a God that can be perfectly just and perfectly loving or merciful at the same time. In every religion in the world, when their God shows mercy, the God does it at the expense of justice. So imagine somebody who killed and killed and killed and killed and killed and say, just have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. The lives you violated will be crying for justice. You are crying for mercy. They say, if your bad deeds outweigh your good deeds, you go to hell. If your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, you go to heaven. That's not a perfect word.